is the Doublet Special Master.
Live and direct.
Breakfast with CubCamTV.
Trickstar Radio.
Right then, friends, we're back inside the building once again. Welcome back to Trickstar Radio. It is Breakfast with Kovu, and we have just entered into the interview hour. I'm very excited for this morning's conversation. We're talking to someone who has a lot of history behind him and someone who is on a roll with new music right about now. We're here to talk about the brand new single and everything else he's been up to over the lockdown period, and of course, readjusting to the new sort of system we are now working with. Man like DJ Cable joins us this morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Wide and awake, obviously. So yeah, I can't complain. How are you?
I'm
good?
Great, sir. I'm great. It's great to get you on the line. Obviously, we've kind of had a couple of back and forths before, kind of via email and sending tunes both ways a long time ago. But it's good to get you actually in on the show for a bit of a conversation and a breakdown of what's kind of going on. So, obviously, you're someone who's been very busy. Do you want to talk to me about how lockdown's been for you in regards to kind of putting music out there and just staying active?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like when I was pretty much in a similar position with everyone else. Like, so when obviously lockdown first come in, at that time everything was uncertain, so we're like, I don't really know what to do. But I mean, to be fair, I think like the first kind of like couple of months, I just looked at it as like, well, I'm going to take like a break and just kind of get my eating pattern right, my sleeping pattern right, because I've been on the circuit and constantly like playing gigs and trying to fit in studio time and family commitments and everything else. It's you don't realise when you kind of take a step back like how burnt out you are.
Entirely.
So it was nice to kind of literally chill, kind of not have to worry about leaving my house at a certain time to get to the club and then get to all these other gigs that I do like during the night and stuff, and be able to just kind of spend time with the family. So like for those who don't know, like my daughter was born just before lockdown came into place. So
Congratulations first of all.
Yeah, thanks, man. So like the beauty of it is that I would never have had like the amount of time with her and the rest of my family as I would have if I was like out in the clubs and that. Do you know what I mean? So that's definitely like one kind of positive I took from it. And it was also quite surprising, like I thought, oh man, 10 plus years of, constantly DJing anywhere from like 3 to 4 nights a week, my sleeping pattern shot to bits. How am I going to adjust? And like literally within 2 weeks, I was back to, going to bed at like 10 o'clock, waking up at like 6 in the morning. And I was just like, wow, is this like what like regular people do? Like, is this what normal people? I could get used to this. And, the weather was banging as well, which obviously helped. So yeah, I was able to kind of, sit in the garden, work on my talent a little bit, and slowly, I guess, kind of around sort of May time, get back into making music, which I think pre-lockdown or pre-apocalypse, whatever you want to call it, I think I was probably a little bit disillusioned with it. I was just kind of probably more focused on DJing too much as opposed to actually kind of putting in the hours in the studio. I wasn't really feeling that inspired. So, and once you're kind of in that routine of just like constantly being in the club and that, it's very easy to kind of lose focus on that. So it was nice to kind of just like reconnect, listen to a whole bunch of different music as well. I wasn't finding myself like digging for club tunes all the time. I was going back, revisiting like a lot of 90s hip hop, a lot of like sample based stuff that's coming out at the moment. Just listening to a whole different bunch of stuff, man, and it's kind of using that to really sort of inspire myself to kind of write more music. And I've been writing a whole bunch of stuff recently. Like I've got a whole bunch of like Griselda type beats, which kind of out and about with rappers at the moment, just waiting on like vocals to come back.
So it sounds like you've been pretty even though you've had that kind of hiatus away and you've had that time to kind of like recharge and I suppose explore the world around you more than anything else by the sounds of things. It definitely feels like from what you're saying that you've taken a fair bit of influence from that time and it's almost worked its way into your sound. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's I'd say that. I mean, I could have like sat here and not done anything, or I could have sat there and been like, oh, cool, let me just go and make drill records and kind of like try and do stuff to that's kind of popping at the moment. But and I think I kind of like fell into that a few years back of like sort of being pushed in direction by people around me to kind of make keep making the grind stuff or keep making like 140, but really and truly, I come from a hip hop background, so like it just made sense for me just kind of go back to that and revisit it, and just kind of just feel inspired. Really, I think it's kind of like the main thing was kind of really sort of using lockdown to kind of do, really. I mean, I was like live streaming here and there. I didn't really kind of go as hard as some DJs were with the live streaming. I just kind of sort of used it just to kind of, keep like match fit.
Yeah, of course. Keep a toe in the game, and almost to an extent stay relevant to what was happening at the time as well.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I mean, like I was never going to get like Be Nice or like complexion numbers off of like Twitch or anything like that. So I was just like, let me just DJ on Twitch like maybe once, twice a week, do a couple of guest spots here and there on like certain IG lives. And yeah, man, it was good just to kind of keep myself active that way. To kind of come up with like ideas for routines and stuff, obviously for when the clubs open back up. And then, when things kind of opened up like this time last year, slowly, I was fortunate to do like a few day parties, so that kind of kept me on top form. And then obviously lockdown 2.0 and 3.0 happened, and kind of back to square one again. But a lot of it's really just kind of been me sort of just chilling, just spending time with the family, and just kind of just kind of resting, really. A lot of these things you kind of take for granted when you're sort of out and about. Do you know what I mean? You think,
Definitely.
I'll spend time with the family next week, or I'll go visit my friends this week. And, if COVID's kind of shown us anything, it's, don't take these things for granted. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I think off the back of that as well, something that I feel a lot of people are very much looking forward to is getting back out into the venues and into the clubs, I suppose. And for yourself, obviously, that's somewhere you've spent a lot of your life. It's somewhere you've spent a lot of your, I suppose you've kind of made a big part of your name is in that situation. Are you looking forward to getting back into it, or are you kind of looking at it like, oh no, it's I've got to go back to work now?
A bit both. So one thing I don't miss is like the kind of 3-4 a.m. drives back, having to stop and get coffee and making sure I don't fall asleep at the wheel, and having to then get up and go and do a day party and and then repeat the process like in the evening and stuff. So I think one thing I probably won't do is maybe play as many gigs as I was beforehand. I kind of, like I said earlier, I got kind of like tied up with just trying to play as many gigs as possible, and I got caught up in that sort of DJ rat race, I guess. But I might be a bit more selective about where I'm playing. I think kind of in this sort of like stage in my career, I'd rather just kind of really focus mainly on just like production, some other side hustles as well. So obviously I've got like Lace Sound, where I'm kind of doing a lot of like music consultancy and like radio edits like for labels and artists as well. So I've been pushing that over like the last 6 months, and kind of slowly moving into like a bit of music supervision as well. So as long as I can, kind of get back in and sort of play the gigs I want to play, that's wicked. But I feel kind of like at my age now and where I'm at in my career, it's, I just want to kind of be comfortable, but spend time with the family, and just kind of do the projects that I enjoy and I get fulfillment from, as opposed to kind of
focusing on the ones that you're kind of more than focusing on ones that you're kind of doing for the sake of doing them, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And any DJ will tell you, like, financially it's great if you're busy, but it does come at a price, and that might be like not seeing your friends and family, or having a rubbish eating and sleeping pattern, and it's detrimental to both your physical and your mental health as well.
Entirely. What I want to dive into next, because we've only got you for a short period this morning, I want to make sure we're getting as much out of you as possible, and we have got brand new music to play this morning. Now I'm gonna take a guess at how this name's pronounced. Is it Ungasabi?
Yeah,
I got it right. Bang on. Right, there we go. We're sorted. I'm out of the mud this morning. I've been pronouncing stuff wrong all morning. It's been one of those. But talk to me about how this tune came together and the collaboration behind it before we jump into it this morning.
Yeah, it's mad random actually. So the beat I'd made like a couple of years ago. I was like in a hotel room in Germany. I was out there for a gig, so I thought, let me just make some edits, and kind of had like this brass sample, and I was like, just like play the riff, and I was like, all right, cool, sounds a bit grimy. Let's just slow it down to 130. I was making like a lot of 140 at the time. Kind of made like this sort of like UK funky loop, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'll run with that in the club tonight. And things going to go down pretty well. And so I just kind of sat there with it, just kind of revisited it periodically, just kind of added a few bits here and there. And when I kind of, sort of finished it, kind of looked at it and was like, well, it sounds like UK. It also kind of sounds like South African, like Gone, and, like their type of, like, bass house as well. So I was like, well, I could get UK artists on it, but it'd be kind of dope to maybe get someone from SA on it and actually sort of do it justice. And I previously done some remix work for a couple of South African rappers like Ricky Rick, for example. I've got mutual contacts out there, so I just hit up one of my friends out there, Ange, and I said, "Yo, I've got this beat here. I know probably Ricky and Casper and AKA are probably a bit unattainable at the moment, but who's on the come up, who's hungry?" And she reeled off a few names, but was like, "Yo, you should definitely check out Robin Third Floor." So I hit him up, listened to his music. I was like, "Yo, this is dope, man. It's really dope." Got in touch, sent him the beat and a couple other bits, and yeah, he literally just came back with that. He's like, "Yeah, here's the vocals, da 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 da," and I was just like, "Cool. I don't need to change any of this. This is great." All right, got it mastered and been sat on it for about a year now. And then kind of since we're sort of on the road to things kind of hopefully going back to normal, I was like, all right, cool, let's just get it out and, get it bubbling and, do a campaign here in the UK and obviously in South Africa as well and see what happens with it. So that's pretty much how the tune came to be. It was super simple, easy artist to work with, which is a bonus. Yeah, man, and this is this is the tune.
This is the result. Well, I can't wait to get into this one this morning, man. It sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing that almost international collaboration come to the forefront as well. Before we do jump into it, though, I have one thing to ask, which is, what is the best way for people to find you on social media to keep up with what you're doing from your end?
Yeah, it's just mad easy. It's just at DJ Cable, so at DJ CABLE on Twitter, IG, all that stuff. Follow me.
Perfect. Well, we're going to get into this one now then, people. We are live on Trickstar Radio, at KXVU, at Trickstar Radio on the socials as well. It's just coming up to 9:15 here. Keep it locked. This is the interview hour with man like DJ Cable.
This is Breakfast with KXVU, bringing you their morning flavours on Trickstar Radio.
Trickstar Radio.